you do if it was not?
We would have no video to the podcast.
We do it all over again.
All right.
Over again.
We do it tomorrow night.
We do it all over again.
We do it live on location.
Live on location. You're not ready for that. You ready for that?
From Soccer World.
There's a lot of people. Whatever. Bait out where you play. There are a lot of people that would not like to hear what you're gonna have to say about what we're gonna have to talk about in a bit.
Oh, I look forward to it.
Yeah. So you better keep that mouth tight, boss. Keep things rolling because it's Monday. The vibes are good. I love Mondays. Monday's my favorite day, especially when it's positive weather outside. The sun was shining. People were out. You know the vibes are good when people are out. Dan noticed the vibes. I noticed the vibes. Yep. Dan is a bit different this week. I don't know. I got a new name for you. I need a name for you.
Oh, okay.
You can't be DJ Dan. You can't be. We can call you Danny because you're just out in the streets.
Oh,
you're out in the streets, living the life. Dan is getting into his weekend bag. Dan has a better weekend than I do. I don't know how you have a better weekend than I do.
Come on.
How does time afford? How do you manage your time so well that you have all this time to do all these things? I just have to look at my phone and be like, damn.
Let's not go overboard.
You know, I looked Saturday. I was like, I have a feeling. I saw you in another snap, and I was like, yeah, that looks like Dan, but I don't know if it's Dan. Then you messaged me after. I was like, okay, it was Dan. Yeah, get into his little arcade bag.
Yeah, I even plugged the podcast during that time.
Yeah, I know. The house looks cozy.
It was a cozy house. Yeah. I
was like, okay, Dan. Okay, getting messages at 12:17.
Hey, you know what?
To be exact.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was up.
Well, I would assume you were up.
But I read it. I opened it later. I was like, oh, whatever.
Oh, okay.
I want to see what fun you're having.
Oh, okay.
Dan's having all the fun.
You're editing the podcast?
I'm just like, oh, damn. That could be me.
Yeah, well.
Instead, it's you.
Well, this is the summer of Thai, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
So?
We're waiting. We just got a few more match weeks left. Kind of wish that some of these teams would wrap up their little title races. Some of them would decide who's going to be in the top 4 or the top 6 or relegated. Like, speed up the process. But they're not doing it.
Nope.
So, while Dan is out here living his best life, living his best life, we got to watch the games. Got to catch up on the games that he got to watch while I didn't get to watch them.
That's right.
See?
Some of us got to watch these games.
Yeah. Someone's got to do it. Someone's got to produce.
You're the producer.
Potters producing pods.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's you.
Me. That's me. Were you good?
I am good.
You enjoyed the nice little weather Mother Nature is kind of teasing us with?
Yeah. You know what? Today I had the opportunity to not have to be in the office, so that was nice, and took advantage of the nice weather. So went out, worked from other location other than this house. So hopefully the weather turns for the better. But it's funny how once the weather does turn nice, how many more people get out.
I don't blame them. I hibernate in the winter.
Yeah.
You're not catching me out when it's negative. It was below 0.
Yeah.
You're not catching me out if it's negative. If it's below 5.
But it's
funny.
5. But it's funny because today wasn't super warm. It was nice in the sun.
Yeah.
In the shade, it was still a little bit cooler. But it's funny how the location that I was, and I'm not going to say where I was.
No snitch. Bait yourself out.
Yeah.
So we know where you hang.
People all of a sudden thought it was sunbathing weather.
Yeah.
They were out there lounging around, collecting some vitamin
Just choose that word. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But you know what? I hope the weather finally does make a turn for the best.
Really? No, would you? Well, how are you surprised by that? There are people outside running when it's just 1 degree and the sun is out.
Yeah, those are crazy people. I still wear my Canada Goose at that time.
I know, you're sick. But they still get it popping. So I wasn't surprised that people were out getting into their little spring/summer bag. You know it's real when, I was talking about you got to make the head look twice.
Yep.
Yeah. There were probably a lot of head backs.
There was a couple.
Head back twice. Yeah,
yep.
I know. That's why I don't come into the city. I don't need to look twice.
Yeah.
I'm good looking once. I'm great. No, I'm joking. Sometimes you got to look twice. But the city was nice. It was vibing.
Yeah.
I got here a bit too late. So I don't know if people were really out.
Today they were. Mm-hmm. Yeah. There was, because it's Easter.
Yeah.
So some
people had off.
Some people had it off.
Yeah.
Some people had to work. But so I think there was more people out than normal on a Monday. But kudos to those people who Took in the sun.
I don't know if I'm gonna give them kudos, but your Easter weekend was good.
Yeah, it was.
We can't be giving out kudos like that.
Okay, sorry. Take that back. Kudos to nobody.
Kudos whoever you want to kudos, man.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good spend some time with the family, which is always nice. Easter is not really a big holiday for us. We kind of keep it low key.
Paint some eggs.
I did paint some eggs at
the party that you went to.
I did, yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
You have fun at the party.
I did have fun at the party.
Did you find some chocolate? Was there like the little egg hunt?
There wasn't egg hunt at the party itself, but the birthday girl, she looked cute, 1 year old. Shout out to her.
You nasty.
I'm you know what? In years, she will listen to this podcast.
Oh, yeah. You better hope so.
Or at least her mother and father.
Take it back that cute.
Yeah.
Take it back that cute tag.
Yeah, it was a nice party. Very nice location. And she's always quite good. But yeah, it was.
I just find it crazy that where you're describing a 1 year old.
You know what?
Hey, man. No, I'm not judging you. That's cool.
Things have changed nowadays.
Oh, yeah?
They throw big parties for kids. Did you know that there's even something called a cake smash?
No, I didn't.
I didn't know. I didn't learn. I learned that day.
Guess I'm not with the times or the vibes.
No.
You are, clearly. Out on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Out late on a Saturday.
Yeah.
Painting eggs.
Yep.
Jeez.
Yep. Then I came back into the city on Sunday.
Oh.
And the vibe in the city was not good. It was sad.
Oh, yeah. It was
sad Sunday.
Funeral at Maple Leaf Square tomorrow night.
Oh, I really hope so.
Oh, oh my God.
I am okay. All for Bruins.
This is the difference between me and you. I'm for the funeral, but I'm not going to admit it.
Oh, I'm all in. I'm all for one.
No, anyhow, I'm ignoring that. I knew that they were going to lose yesterday. The Raptors won, so I don't appreciate how the Raptors are. Don't they have the Leafs on the big screen if they both play at the same time?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know.
Okay.
Because Toronto's a Leaf town. I don't know.
Okay.
But you know what? They better give some respect to that Toronto team because that's their chance to win a trophy.
I know. That's why I found it real funny. I hit up Fabs. Fabs hit me with some BS. I was like, okay, whatever. Good that you're not on the podcast now. I don't want to hear your Leaf propaganda.
Oh, I forgot Leaf. I forgot he's a Leaf. Hey, speaking of hockey, and I know we don't talk very much, but your boy's coming back to Detroit.
I know. Shout out to him.
Yeah.
A great one, a real one when you see one.
That's right.
Yeah.
And when I saw that, I thought of you.
Yeah, I hope so. You think Toronto's going to try and snag him too, since they're snagging everyone?
No.
From the organization?
Stevie Y is he bleeds red.
Yeah, get Brendan and Mike out of here.
Yeah.
They're not the same anymore. They look different in the light.
Yeah.
I don't want to see them anymore.
That's fair.
Well, yeah, the Toronto teams are getting it off. Good for you guys. I think, what was it, the day that they won and they both played? Was it the Friday?
It was all Toronto
teams won, making up for the Saturday when you guys thought you were all going to get it festive and popping, and they all lost.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you losers. Easter. Do people feel the need to... Well, it's more females. I feel bad for killing the females.
Okay,
They're getting their little Easter fits off. You see any of that on your Instagram? Oh, good.
No. What does that mean?
This is their little best poses in their Easter outfits.
Oh, no.
And just like, oh, okay.
No, maybe. I don't. Maybe my Instagram is not as good as yours.
No, my demographic needs to grow the hell up.
Oh, okay.
The Easter fits?
Oh, okay,
I didn't know we get the Easter fits off.
No.
No? You didn't wear your best outfit for your Easter get together and say, Ma.
I definitely did not.
Ma, take a pic.
No.
You think Laura would?
Probably, but she's a loser.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna make sure I tell her that. What time is it? Yeah, 11 minutes into the pod. Listen to that.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough.
She knows.
I just found that a bit wild, and I find wild people that really do the whole 4-day party long weekend thing a bit crazy. But that's just me. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
Easter's not really the time to, be getting it popping out on these streets.
No.
Streets were busy when you were down here.
Sunday?
Yeah.
I think only because of the game.
Were the streets busy where you were on Saturday?
No.
They're quiet? They
Very.
behave themselves up. No, well, actually, I hear they don't behave themselves up there. But on holidays, they kind of behave themselves.
Yeah.
Okay,
we're low key people up there.
That's good. I like that. But wait until next Saturday. Ooh, we're gonna get into that. It's match week.
That's right.
It's match week.
Yep.
We're getting into that. But before we even get into that, you ready?
I'm ready.
Mic's on.
Mic's on.
Camera better be on.
Well.
People are quiet, so nothing's really going on outside. So
No.
if nothing's going on outside, your neighbors are cool with it. I don't really care. But now I feel like we've gotten to a point where, if we ask and we don't hear anything, then we're good to go.
We're good.
Yeah, we're good to go. So with that being said, the InnerViews Podcast, episode number 72, live. We are 72,
Yep,
right?
we are.
Live and direct from Toronto, Ontario. It's your guy, Tyrrell. The streets are not popping, but the weather is nice. Everyone's getting out. We just got out of our little Easter bag for those that celebrate Easter. And for those that didn't, I hope you enjoyed the long weekend. But that doesn't mean that there isn't soccer/footy to talk about. This is the best soccer/footy podcast in the world. Just had to get that straight out of the bag. I am not alone. It is a bit quieter in here in comparison to last week, but we're looking to fix that. To the left of me is Dan, the man, Danny Dan, whatever you want to, Dapper Dan, getting into his little streets bag over the weekend. Happy to see that you're enjoying yourself with the nice weather rolling around. And I hope that it stays consistent this summer. I want you to have the best summer ever.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. That's probably one of the nicest things I'll ever say to you.
Yeah, it is.
This summer? No, I say a lot of nice things to you.
Okay.
But this summer, I want you to have a great summer.
Okay.
And I just wanted to get that out there, by the way.
Fantastic.
But we're here, live and direct, like I said. Leafs aren't playing, Raptors aren't playing, so why not just have the best soccer/footy podcast doing what we do best, breaking down all the main or significant action that took place over the weekend, anything happening with TFC, and anything else happening with the league that is apparently kicking off in a few days that we still don't really know much about. They still don't even got their little rate as to how much we have to pay for the subscription out yet. The little On Soccer, I saw them going at MLS in Canada Twitter account. You saw that, right?
I did.
I favorited it. I was like, hey, they're not going against you. We kind of need to know how much we're going to pay for this service/subscription and why you couldn't get things working with DAZN. But we'll get to that a bit later. Dan, how are you?
I'm good.
Vibes are good?
Vibes are quite good, yes.
Feeling great?
I am... Yeah, I'm feeling good. There was an interesting weekend. Interesting.
Why? Because you got out?
Well, no. Not,
or you're just talking about the soccer/footy?
I'm talking about the soccer/footy.
Oh, okay. I don't know. I gotta keep asking.
Yeah, no.
Maybe there's something that you didn't tell me that I need to know. I gotta pull it out of you.
No.
Ask the hard-hitting, bone-crunching questions.
No. I was talking about the footy. I'll be honest, from the games that I took in.
You decided to watch?
I decided to watch. I saw some interesting stuff.
Okay.
Some title celebrations.
Okay.
So that one I watched.
Okay. Oh, you're a loser.
Muted celebrations, but they celebrated.
You're a loser. I definitely did not tune into that.
Oh, come on, that's my team. So
Okay.
I had to celebrate with them.
8.
What
was the little post? I saw everyone kind of like reposting it on
no.
Instagram.
8.
I was like, you are all losers.
Yeah,
you don't care. You won before they kicked the ball.
I laughed at Max's quote that he said next year the objective is the same, to win the Scudetto.
Oh God.
So.
Oh God. I would take that seriously if the others around them were at least pushing them a bit.
Yeah.
Just a bit.
Yeah.
But they're not.
No, they're not.
So I don't care. And that's why I didn't care. The little stories. We won. No. That win ain't erasing what happened last week.
Nope.
Sorry, boys in black and white. But good job for sealing that off, because I didn't want to go through another week of, will they clinch?
No, exactly.
How will they do it? Can it crumble?
No.
It's not crumbling. They did it.
No, they did it.
Who would have thunk it?
Surprising, eh?
Surprising. Anything happened this week that mattered? Oh, I guess we could give you a little...
Oh, thanks. Actually, it's funny. I was in this attire. I was at my coffee shop, and this guy came up to me, and he asked me. He's like, "Just want to know, are you part of this team that I'm sporting right now?" And a part of me wanted to say, "Yeah, I play right back for them," but I was like, "No, I'm not."
Don't do Aro and Richmond. I'll call him by his first name. Richmond, the task of you being the right back for them. You look like a right back.
I guess I was sitting with Jims, and we were both. We looked at each other, and he said to me, like, "You should have just gone with it."
Yeah.
Reserve player. Yeah.
Say you play for TFC 2. Say you got hurt and you're just on the comeback. You just signed a little. What's the first contract that you could sign? Say you sign one of those.
Yeah.
Pull it off.
I guess. But how many professional players walk around in their kits, or their team apparel?
You're just coming from training.
I guess, yeah.
Yeah, you just feel like you
Decided to come to the coffee shop, watch some Bundesliga.
Yeah, feel that you could just be in your own element and be you.
Yeah, I guess.
Be you, Mr. Right Back. Greg's gonna give you a call right now on the cells.
By the looks of it, they may need a right back.
Oh, at least by the looks of it, they need a whole lot.
Yeah.
Anything else happened this week that mattered?
No.
We were just here like not too long ago.
I know.
Nothing really happened this weekend. NBA playoffs still kicking off. NHL playoffs. I don't know. I want to keep it on a positive note. So anything really? You were partying all weekend, and celebrating and painting eggs. So I guess you're good.
I'm all painted out.
Yeah, there's nothing really that caught my eye this weekend that I really need to talk about. Maybe when we go through a full week of not potting, then
we'll have more to talk about.
We'll have more to talk about. But it's just been like I said.
Well, this weekend we'll have. Well, by the next time we pod, there will be a lot to talk about.
Yeah, there will be a lot to talk about. Yeah. So, because I don't think we're not doing Thursday, right? You're gonna take Thursday off.
We could do one just for the shits and giggles,
just in case United pull off the upset of upsets.
Oh yeah, that's right, because that's Wednesday, right?
Yeah.
Oh well, we'll play it by ear.
Yeah, we'll play it by ear. We'll see. We'll see how things go and go from there. We're not promising one, but if we do, you know where to find us. I gotta be better with this whole uploading thing. Kind of gone away from it since Fabs disappeared, but we're gonna get back into that.
All
but if anything else, there's something that happened that mattered, but I can't remember what it is. And I guess I don't really care. I think the Drake curse is over, by the way.
Why?
I don't know. People are just talking about it.
Oh,
didn't Zaha like take a picture with Drake and then I don't know. Drake, whatever. Y'all need to stop. You all leave Drake alone.
It's not Drake's fault that you're losing, my friends.
Yeah, you leave Drake alone. Don't blame him.
If that's what you believe, then your team is you're actually, if that's what you believe, you're washed.
Yeah, you need to fix up. You need to do better. Anyhow, since we really don't got anything to talk about this week, I think this could be that we're trash. But if we're not gonna go with that yet, we're gonna wait till the summer. After the summer to declare that. We'll have more stories in the summer. Don't worry. We'll be out all the time. Doing things that we shouldn't be. Well, doing things that I shouldn't be doing.
That's right.
Get into my bag.
Yep.
I'll
support you from afar.
I hope so. Because I've been just laying low. The season's a long grind. People feel like people don't understand that. 38-game grind, all these other games. So when the summer comes around, oh boy, we gets it. And something about me, my odd number years, so like 2019, 17, 15, best summers by far. So just want to get that out there. All right. Better not ruin it this year, Dan. Don't do anything that will make me hate you or ruin my summer.
I will try not to.
Got that?
Yep.
Perfect. So if you ain't got nothing to say, first we got to give a shout out to the YouTube subscribers. Thank you for subscribing and giving us all the support that you do. To all the listeners on Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, iTunes, and any Android apps that you do use. Shout out to those on Quora, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Keep doing what you are doing, whether it's hate or not. I love it. Keep bringing us, keep responding to our content, keep interacting with us as we do interact with you. Saw Dan try to get into his little Twitter bag this weekend. Dan, it ain't cutting it, bro.
Right.
You got to tweet. We want to hear your opinions.
Okay.
I want to retweet your opinions.
All right.
I want people to kill you for your opinions.
All right, that's fair.
Or agree with your opinions.
I'm just slowly getting into this Twitter thing.
I know.
I was retweeting. I always put you in there.
I know. I saw.
All right.
I saw.
I'm trying.
I'm playing, man. Keep doing what you're doing. Shout out to Dad for getting to his little Twitter bag. Shout out to, like I said, the returning listeners, those that are the first time listeners, and those that have left but will eventually come back because it's the best soccer/footy podcast in the world. Shout out to all the Toronto soccer podcasts, all the Toronto podcasts. Shout out to the Clip Draw gang, Dan's. Who's your clan again?
TFC.
Yeah, TFC Live. Everyone in 113, 14, 112, 110, wherever ones you're in that sit behind the little goalpost and do the bite Iceland's chants.
Yeah.
Y'all gotta stop that.
You know what?
Y'all gotta stop that. That's real soon. But I'm gonna give you a pass for now. Okay. As long as they don't bring that to the CPL, we're good.
Okay.
We're good. TFC's fine. I could do with that. But if I start seeing it at Forge and everywhere else, no, that's where we gotta put a stop to it. You guys gotta relax. Shout out to those guys. Shout out to I gave the Clip Draw gang Fabs' De Gea clan. Who we get to you in a little bit.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to all the independent men, independent women, single men, single women, all the kids that are going back to school tomorrow, the public service workers, the cops, the paramedics, the construction workers, the flight attendants, the bartenders. Shout out to the creatives. Shout out to all the people on YouTube, the podcasters. Shout out to the parking enforcement guys. They need some love, man. I saw one today, and he was given the ticket, and there was someone watching from afar, and they weren't giving them the best look, man. So we got to give a shout out to them. Shout out to all the people in the concession stands that are working really hard, that do work at these games and have to deal with all of Dan's people's trying to cause up a little storm, get a bit rowdy. Shout out to all the people, what are they called? Not the barbacks. The guys at the front, the bouncers. They get no love either.
Oh. Nope.
Shout out to them. Shout out to all the dancers, the gangbangers. Shout out to everyone, man. Shout out to everyone. You know that you are important. Keep doing what you're doing, and hopefully soon you get to listen to the podcast. But with that being said, if we got nothing to say besides that, and we're just gonna go with the vibes and see where we're starting with this week, because I feel like we don't have a lot to talk about, but we really do have a lot to talk about. Then let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Hit your music.
Get into it, man. Let's get into it. I always forget. I think we're gonna get into it. What are the vibes? What's good? What really got you going this week? What is the deal?
I think we got to start in the.
We know where we're starting.
Yeah.
We start there every single week.
That's fine.
Because all the other leagues suck.
Yep, you're right.
No, they don't suck. Sorry, they don't suck. But we got to start there because
they're
matters.
not as entertaining.
Okay.
As compelling.
At this stage.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, some people take that and go with it. Oh, y'all are Prem boys. You are one half of the Prem boys.
Yes.
Shout out to the Prem boys. Prem boys. So where you want to go?
Shout out to you, Fabs.
No. Shout out to him.
No shout out to you, Fabs.
No.
Let's start. Let's start in Manchester.
Pick your poison. Ooh, which Manchester? Ooh.
Well, there was only one game played in Manchester.
Oh, okay. See what? I don't know about that, but in the Premier League, yeah. But
yeah,
I'm just being stupid. Okay, we're starting with the early morning kickoff Saturday morning. If you thought it wasn't enough, you got it 3 times in a row. Who was gonna win the rubber match?
You know what was funny? I saw so many people say, I can't listen to those commentators. 10 minutes in, they're like, this game is not as good as Wednesday's Champions League game. Oh, I expected 7 goals by this point. Come on. Look, let's get serious.
Oh, you didn't want this. You didn't want them to hit us with a 7?
Yeah, they were not going to hit us with a 7.
Mm-hmm.
And anybody who watched that game to be hit with a 7, go back to bed.
Yeah. Well, if you didn't know,
yeah.
Well, I knew City was going to win. But to say that, the man of the match helped them win the match.
Yeah. Yeah.
It usually works out that way, but sometimes it doesn't. The man of the match. Who was your man of the match, Dan? Before we get into it. On City side. I don't care about Spurs.
On City side?
Don't pick the wrong guy. Don't pick the wrong guy. It's not hard. Who was the man of the match?
Philly Foden.
Who was the other man of the match? You got a second chance.
You want to say Bernardo Silva?
Mm-mm.
Who?
Ederson.
Really?
I don't know. He kind of just saved a bunch of key chances that you think Spurs would score.
I kind of expected him to make those saves.
Really? Because he didn't make it in the
I know.
league.
This is true. This is true.
Yeah.
This is true.
They had three chances.
That's fair.
Eriksson should have scored. Son should have scored. Lucas Moura should have scored.
Yeah.
And he stood tall.
Yeah.
So I think he is the man of the match. I think Philly did well.
Yeah.
And we got to talk about him in a bit. I think Bernardo was great as well.
Okay.
But
Ederson, but your man of the match is Ederson.
Based on the fact that Spurs still created
a
really
lot.
Good chances.
Yep.
For a tired side. And Laporte and Stones weren't really cutting it. Made some mistakes.
Yeah, are we seeing end of the season legs being tired, or is that something that we've overhyped this whole year?
I think it's just been a really long year.
Okay.
World Cup year. They've played X amount of games. Pep has pushed them to the bone, right?
Yeah.
They were in contention for the quadruple in April.
Yeah.
Which is unprecedented for the most part. It's very rare that teams go that far. And they've had to deal with injuries. Laporte's been one of the mainstays. So I'm not surprised that perhaps, you kind of feel it a bit. And they've been playing. It's not like they've had weeks off where they've been able to rest or have one game per week.
No.
For the most part, since maybe January, it's been 2 games a week.
Yeah.
Or since the Christmas period, right?
And
So-
that hasn't stopped now because
No.
they've got a big one on Wednesday.
And then it stops for the remainder of the season.
Right.
So that's the good thing for them, right? But Spurs had their chances. I thought they did set up very defensive based on having a thin squad, and I don't think they could afford to go as open as they did or as open as the game was on Wednesday.
No.
So they played a very defensive squad. They tried to fight through it, but Philly offered them something different.
Yep.
Making runs into the box, playing a bit higher. Help with Zinchenko coming in as well.
He's another one that's really improved under Pep. Not that I'm surprised, but
Yeah.
and I think that should be something that goes a lot of times with under the radar with Pep is how much he's improved players. Raheem, Phil. You could even say Aguero to a certain degree.
He has definitely improved Aguero. He 100% has improved Aguero.
I don't know. Can you say he's improved Bernardo Silva too?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like, Bernardo, when he was coming, like a lot of these players that signed for Pep, and which is why I don't really use the money. Well, they've spent so much money. But a lot of the money that they spent were on players that weren't the finished product.
Right.
And still aren't the finished product. But he had to elevate their game.
Correct.
And that is much easier said than done. Because we look to other clubs where they've signed the potential talent, but some of those players haven't lived up to what they're supposed to be and may not get there.
Yeah, I think that's fair.
So I think that is why I don't even look at the money factor. Because at the end of the day, the way the market is now, you have to spend X amount of money to get players that have that upside. Like De Bruyne should never go for the price that he went for. He's a bit different because he was a Bundesliga player this season.
Right.
But Bernardo, Raheem, Sane, those kind of guys that we didn't really know what they would be. Gabriel Jesus.
Yep.
But
I think and unfortunately, whether it's footballers or whether it's anything else, once the market is condo prices in Toronto, if you want to take that as an example, unfortunately, once the price value goes to a certain degree, it's hard to go back.
Yeah.
You can't really correct the market.
No.
And I think right now, to your point, I think there's a lot of transfer fees that are overblown. But there's only one way to go. It's going to go up.
Yeah.
Unless you get a steal, but that Van Dijk went for X. If this player is better than Van Dijk, then he's going to go for whatever Van Dijk went plus X.
Yeah.
You're not going to go down in that price. So
only certain circumstances allow that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So that's why I look at them and I'm like, okay, this is good. There were a lot of English pundits after the game that were saying, well, how does Phil fit into the squad? Maybe Phil should go somewhere else. And I'm like, no. I think Phil, even if, because they're like, oh, he needs to be playing regularly. I would rather him be under
Pep's
that
wing
regime and getting the minutes now and eventually work himself to where he could become a regular mainstay than him go somewhere else, be mismanaged, lose that form, lose that ability to grow just so he could play regularly.
And I think Phil is quite happy there.
Yeah.
Why
wouldn't he be?
He's a Manchester City kid, playing at his hometown club, getting his minutes, playing in important games. If I was him, I wouldn't be going anywhere under a great manager like Pep. No. You know what? It's the sky's the limit for him. And I thought he seized this opportunity very well in that game against Tottenham, which was not an easy game to play in.
Nope.
With the emotions of Wednesday night and the pressure of the title race. I thought he was one of the better players.
And to score the winner.
Yep.
And now it's like, well,
credit to Aguero for putting that across too.
Yeah. Credit to Aguero for putting it across. Credit to the ball being whipped in. Credit to Phil for getting into that space.
Yep.
So it was all key. It's a well-rounded goal, and it just looked like a very tired game. Both sides looked tired.
Yeah.
And obviously on the break, Son had his opportunities. Luke, that was kind of the game that they were playing, right? That's the game they were forced to play.
And to your point, I think that was the only game that they could have played.
Yeah.
And you touched on it, being a little bit tired. And for Tottenham, that high of getting through, all of that comes into play. But at the end of the day, I think City were full value to get the 3 points. Tottenham pushed them.
Yeah, they did. Like I said, Ederson had to make some really key saves, and I feel like that was a difference maker. Raheem could have scored.
Yes.
That Sané chance.
Yes.
And
it was a good save.
It was a good save. Still, it was behind him too. But
right.
You'd like to hope that he would score that, because I was gonna say if there was anyhow they dropped points and he missed that, he would have the worst week.
Oh yeah.
If you think about the offside goal and that.
Yeah. But the offside goal, the offside goal is offside and whatnot. I mean, that one is a chance that he was onside. He should have scored.
Yeah, but just the human element that he would feel a certain way that, man,
of course,
that happened, and then now I missed this chance. Like, it's not going for me, right? So now the question is because Kevin De Bruyne went off injured again, and I think they probably just need to shut him down for the rest of the season. There's been a lot of questions about whether he's been rushed back a bit too early, and I don't see why they would need to do that. But he was starting the game pretty well. Then he had to come off.
Yep.
Don't know what the injury is, but given the World Cup, given everything that's happened this season, it would probably be best to sit him out, give him a full preseason, because a lot of those players are going to need the full vacation to get over it, unless they're playing in Copa America or Bernardo with the little Nations League and a few other players, right?
Right.
But they need a full summer off, and I feel like they should just shut him down, go back again next season, because they're running. I mean, if they beat United, they would like to fancy their chances against Burnley and whoever they play.
The thing is, looking at that squad, only Aguero and Jesus would play Copa America.
Yeah.
And Aguero...
And we don't even know if Aguero's going to play.
That's what I mean.
So, and we don't know who they're going to get in the summer. So
right.
They need a full rest. And now with De Bruyne out, the question is, does Phil play Wednesday against Manchester United in the derby?
It'd be interesting.
It'd be interesting because he could put Bernardo there and go with the two wide players. He could slide in Silva back. Slide back Silva.
Yep.
But it'd be interesting if he plays Phil. I don't think, given that midfield, I don't think it would be a risk playing Phil. And given the fact that Phil was able to play in that Spurs game, obviously we're gonna look at it and be like, oh, the derby's a bit bigger, but I don't think it's that much bigger now, given how far United have fallen off.
There you go.
And obviously it's still a big game, but the nature of the game, I don't think it's gonna be as intense as it would have been if, let's say, United were in Liverpool's position.
Correct.
Or if United were just a bit below, like a few points back. So I think they could take that risk. I still think that, and I wouldn't be surprised if he did, but we probably will see Silva. I don't know if he's going to go Silva, Gundogan, Fernandinho, but we could see Bernardo move into the center and then go from there, right?
Yep, maybe Sané up front.
Yeah, we'll see the nature of the game. I just don't see why they would need Bernardo out wide for the additional midfielder / I call it the Iniesta role.
Right.
Iniesta used to play out wide in the bigger games for Barca. I don't see why they would need that here, given the way United have been playing this season and their current form now.
Exactly.
But big win for City. It put them back at the top of the table for the time being. They had to win that game. I felt like they would win that game because I don't think Spurs are better than them.
No.
Rightly so.
Nope.
And I just didn't think they would ever lose to Spurs at home in any of those 3 games. We always felt that the one game that they could lose was the one at Spurs.
Right.
And they did.
And
anything on Spurs that you really...
No. I don't think there's... I think we've said what we needed to say on them. They need to push now. Now is... And it's going to be a big... Yeah. It's going to be a big... What? 4 weeks?
It's going to be a bit... It's a defining 4 weeks for them because...
Can I say... Before we go... I don't think Poch got this one wrong, by the way. I have heard people saying, oh, he got it wrong. He threw this game away, this and that. Look, he wasn't going to pick up points in this game. And I thought he played with what I thought he got the formation right, and he played who was available to him in this game.
Yeah, I don't think given what's left, the players that are left, I don't think there's too much space for him to really get it wrong. And I don't think he necessarily threw the game. But if you look at that fixture on paper, he would think that, if I get something out of this, great.
Yep.
If I don't, then Because when you look at the remaining 4 fixtures of the season, you could look it up if you want. I'm pretty sure they have Everton at home on the final day. They have West Ham at home. They have Brighton tomorrow or today when you're listening. And they have one more game, right? And three of those games are at home.
Yes.
So they would like to fancy their chances that they should win those games at home, albeit Everton on the final day. Who knows? Because Everton have played well this season, but more so they haven't played well. That's a lie. They played well against the bigger sides, but they played well against the bigger sides at Goodison. So and that game's not at Goodison.
That's right.
So Spurs, given the run-in, and we'll get to the other guys in a bit, their run-in is the best.
Correct.
So when I look at it now, when we have 4 games left,
right,
or some teams have 3, I would like to think that Spurs should finish in the top 4.
Correct.
Now, the only thing for them now is they better hope that they don't finish 4th.
Right.
Because the way that things are going is if Chelsea or Arsenal win the Europa League and finish outside the top 4, then they lose that spot.
Is it?
Yeah.
Isn't it 5?
No.
They changed that?
I think they did. I'm pretty sure that if they finish 4th.
No, I'm pretty sure there's just 5. If they win the Europa League, there's just 5 spots for the English teams.
I'm not too sure
we'll
about
check that.
Yeah, I'm not too sure about that. So they would want to finish 3rd.
Yes.
So, and it's on them. And they got a bit of a nice savior today as we're recording this. So we'll see how it goes. There's not really much to say, but those 2 games against Ajax also leads to more risk of injury and it leads to more fatigue, right? Because we also have to put that into perspective. And I think that Ajax will be a bit more, they have a bit more room for error and not in the game itself, but they'll be fresher.
Yes, they will be.
To be correct.
Yes.
So we'll see how that goes for them. But if we're getting off that, then I feel that we need to go to the bigger story. Oh, no, we'll go to Liverpool first.
Okay.
Go to Liverpool first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because there's no point of overlapping. So we'll go to Liverpool. Liverpool won.
Yep.
They won at Cardiff.
Mm-hmm.
Cardiff is by far one of the worst teams in the league.
Yes.
And it looked a bit iffy for a while.
Oh, a long period of time.
A long period of time. And we were waiting. And we were waiting. And waiting and waiting and waiting. And then finally, it took a set piece.
Yes.
It took Gigi Wijnaldum.
Yes. And by the way, that goal there, and you and I have played the game before. That goal is not as easy as he makes that look.
I know.
So credit to him on that finish, because I thought when I saw that, I thought, wow, that's a very that ball easily can go miles over the ball.
Yeah, it's good technique, and it's just a surprise because he rarely scores goals away from home. So what a great goal to score for him, and it was the winner. And Alisson had to make a big save on Nias.
Yes, he did.
So you got to give him credit there. And then the what killed off the game,
right?
I don't really want to talk about it, but they got a penalty.
Yeah,
they got a penalty.
I thought it was, by the way. I know you don't think it is, but I thought as a defender, I thought he just held him for too long. I don't mind that the little grab, but I felt like he held him for just that extra little bit of time.
Yeah, I know.
He made it. I know he embellished it at the end, but the fact of the matter is, he held him. I know. Because it's soft, but I'm just saying.
Because then that leads now to that's going to lead to more of that.
No, I know.
That's going to continue.
No, I hear what you're saying. I'm just thinking when I saw that live.
Yeah.
When I saw that live, I said he held him.
Yeah. Mo got to stop that.
Yeah. He's getting a reputation for it.
Yeah. He's got to stop that. And I'm not having the he should know better.
No.
Or is Morrison, right? That he should I'm not having the Morrison should know better
by
not having
sorry.
his arms on him.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like, okay. But is it a foul or is it not? I get where they're coming from with that. He should know better. He shouldn't have his arms on him. But I'm not going to give you a penalty just because you should know better and because he had his arm. I don't think Salah was going anywhere.
No, I know.
Anywhere. So is it soft? Yes. I wouldn't give it. I wouldn't give it. But he gave it, and whatever. I'm not gonna say if it's wrong or it's right, but I wouldn't give it. And Milner scored because that's what Milner does.
Mm-hmm. Well taken penalty, by the way.
Yeah, he's very good at that. Yeah. So I wasn't even surprised. But they get by, and I feel like at this stage with X amount of games left, less than a handful.
Yep.
We can no longer really critique the performances from either side.
Nope.
Because now it's come to a point where you just gotta win.
That's right.
And it's like I said, it's gonna suck because if Liverpool don't, like, they could win out and they're gonna finish with 97.
That's right.
Which is more than the Chelsea side from 405.
Yes.
And that was the benchmark.
Yep.
And that would possibly mean that City, if they win out, are they gonna eclipse 100? If they were to win out, or they would hit 99.
99, I think.
Yeah,
or 98, I think.
Really? Aren't they 2 points ahead?
If they win, they're only 1 point ahead.
Oh yeah, because they're on. Okay, yeah. So they would hit 89 if they win the derby, and then they have 3 games left.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's still great,
Yeah.
given that it's pushed to the end, right? So that would be really harsh, and there wouldn't be anything that we could say about Liverpool. Just I would only question whether they could do it again.
Right.
Whereas I think City could.
And I think we've said that on numerous occasions,
which,
that City are the best place for another repeat performance next year.
Yeah, so that's why I won't say anything. But we didn't think it at the start of the season. At least I know Fabs and I thought that there would have to be some sort of drop off, but I don't think we've seen it.
Nope.
And we look at their 2019 thus far after beating Liverpool, because remember, that was everyone thought that if they lose to Liverpool, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And they've just gone on a tear.
Yes.
They beat everyone.
Yep.
So last season, United spoiled the party for them to win the title earlier than they should have.
Mm-hmm.
And now you have to question whether United could do that again, because Liverpool will have all eyes on that. Anfield will have all eyes on that tie at Old Trafford. Last year's at the Etihad.
That's right.
So perhaps less pressure. Perhaps. I don't know. I'm not one into the mental.
No. I know you are.
The mental game or the pressure game. You go out there, you win.
Yep.
And I don't think Pep cares either. And I don't think City, their performance at Old Trafford since Pep has got there shows that they don't give a damn.
Oh, they don't give a damn.
So, but I don't think it's going to be the little blowout that everyone thinks it's going to be.
Oh, I think it's going to be tight.
Yeah.
I mean, before we...
Yeah, we're not getting to them yet. I'm getting back to Liverpool in a second.
No, that's fine. I don't think there's much more to talk about Liverpool. I was going to say, do you want to talk about Everton and United before we... In a second.
Okay.
You want to go back to Liverpool?
Yeah, I want to go back to this. I don't want to go back to the title race after this.
Okay. So what else do you have? Because I don't think there's much to take from that Cardiff game other than the fact that they got the result. And these next couple games for Liverpool are going to be very, very interesting because they've got 2 big home and away legs with Barcelona. So I would like to see what Klopp does in terms of management of minutes, because he's not going to roll with that same squad. He's going. I wouldn't think he would roll with that same squad. And I actually was surprised in the lineup that he played against Cardiff. I thought we would see Shaqiri, Origi, some rotation, but he hasn't. So I'm wondering if he's just going to play these guys until the end.
Yeah, we haven't seen Shaqiri in a minute. I think Shaqiri's season's toast.
Yeah.
Fabinho did come off because of a head injury, but you would like to think that he should be okay.
I think he wanted to, from watching that game, he wanted to continue. I think it was more the trainers who told him not to.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm and we've said this about those front 3 that they've played a lot of minutes. I thought this was the kind of game that I thought Klopp would get a little bit of rotation in. Maybe he didn't want to chance it. I don't know.
Yeah, I feel like there's no room for error now. I kind of feel like you have to go all in. So I don't think we're going to see much rotation. I don't think we're going to see much rotation unless they blow out a team in the league or they're able to blow Barca out in that first leg. But I don't think we're going to see any rotation from him. And I feel like even if he rotates the midfield, you have to question, is there much of a drop-off if he plays Milner instead of Henderson? If he plays Naby Keita?
I don't think it's... I think the midfield, he's got a little bit of rotation that he can do. Even in the back, Joe Gomez is back, so maybe he can give Alexander-Arnold a rest.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened today on Lovren.
Don't care.
But I thought, in terms of, he could give Matip a little bit of a rest. But
you're worried about the front 3.
That's my thing. There's no rotation. Well, we haven't seen that much rotation in the front 3.
Yeah.
But there is Shaqiri and Origi that they can substitute. But it's a drop off.
Yeah. But I think at this point now, there's just too much to really.
So their schedule is as follows: at home to Huddersfield, away to Barca, away to Newcastle. Ooh, could you imagine if Rafa?
I don't think we'll see that.
Okay. At home to Liverpool, at home to Wolves to finish off the season.
Yeah. I'm not going to predict any of those. We'll take that week by week.
No, I know.
But I do think that
Do you see much rotation?
no.
Maybe
No.
maybe the Huddersfield at home this weekend.
Yeah, okay. You see that's where their schedule was very interesting because they got Cardiff, now they get Huddersfield.
Right.
Yeah, that like perhaps we do see some with Barcelona on their mind,
But
I don't think it's the front three. And if it is, it may be one of them.
But I think if it's the front three, it's what you said first. They'll go in there, blow Huddersfield away, or try to.
Hope to.
And at that point, if it's 2-3,
Yeah, then they go.
Then shut it down.
Yeah.
If it's 3 by the 60th minute, you shut down Mo, or you shut down Sadio.
Yeah.
Right. But the game has to be done and dusted.
Yeah,
it can't be
obviously,
2-0.
obviously.
Klopp's gotta know that the game is truly done.
But then it leads to another point because I think at 2 it's done. I think if they get 2 goals against Huddersfield, it's done.
Okay.
But the other factor here is that are they going to pull a Brendan Rodgers on us and look at the standings and say, well, maybe if United and City do draw and then we move level on points, or because I'm pretty sure City can afford a draw.
Right.
And then if City win their game, then they're level on points.
Right.
Are they going to try and pump up the goal differential?
Oh,
So that's another factor because they're behind like 8 goals or maybe 7, right?
Check for you right now.
And like I said, City could blow teams out of the park.
6.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a lot.
That's a lot because it's not like City can't score.
No,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So that's my point. So I want to know how they go about it because that's what happened. Rodgers, I remember it was the game against Palace where after they lost to Chelsea. They were up 3-0 or 3-1, whatever it was, and they kept trying to go for more. Then they got hit on the counter,
Right.
and that could happen. So I want to know how they managed that as well, because that's probably lingering in their mind too. Because even though they could blow out Huddersfield City, could go out and blow out Burnley. Not to say that would happen,
Right.
but
Chelsea. Chelsea. City has shown us that they've got goals in them.
Yeah. So
to put 4, 5, 6
yeah.
on a team.
So that's why this rest conversation is very interesting because at the end of the day, Jurgen has nothing to lose now.
Right.
He as much as the Champions League is there, Fabs and I said at the start of this season is that it's league or bust.
Right.
Now because they've pushed them so far and because they're going to set the record for best second place team, which doesn't really say much.
No.
He's going to get a leeway. He's going to get a pass by most. He's going to get a pass by most, and rightly so. I can't kill people for giving a pass there. But if let's say they were to lose in the Champions League semifinal to Barca but win the league, then all is fine.
Okay. That's
all is fine. That's how they're going to look at it.
Yep.
And I think that's how we should look at it too.
Okay.
So I feel like now it's like you got to ride those guys in these remaining 3 games. They kind of have to. And if something happens, well, shit, something happens. But I don't think he could play the cautious game where I'm going to give you a rest or I'm going to give you a rest. The midfield he can. In defense he can to a degree. But Virgil, Alisson, front 3, they're playing.
And you can even go as far as to say Robertson is set there too.
Yeah. They're playing.
Yep.
So that's just how it's going to have to go. With Cardiff, they're going to feel like, damn, because they still sit 3 points behind Brighton, just to run that down quickly. And their goal difference is ridiculously.
Oh, awful.
They're like 4 points behind Brighton.
Yes,
and Brighton's been awful over the past few weeks as well. So
they're 3 points behind Brighton.
Yeah, so it's still technically 4 because of goal difference.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, they look like they could be going down.
Yeah. That's the Brighton point at Wolves was huge for them.
Yeah, because Wolves are Wolves.
Yeah.
Wolves going Wolves. I don't understand. I really don't understand. That'll touch on that in a bit. So yeah, that happened. So you kind of want to get into the top 4 stuff right now, right?
Yep.
Well, before we get into the top 4 stuff, I feel like we got to hear this first.
But we will get top 4. I'm telling you we'll get top 4. Look who other teams got to play as well. Are you mad? Man United, Chelsea got to play each other. That's points gone from one team. Yeah? Come on now, blood. Man United got to
Wolves
play.
away.
United got to play. United got to play City as well. You understand? Every other team has got difficult games.
Wolves away,
This is the
Leicester
first
away.
game. This is the first home game we've lost since City, blood. You understand? The man are panicking, blood. Come on, be real now, innit? I'm angry because we lost. I'm not panicking. There's a big difference.
Messages-
You're panicking. I'm not panicking.
I am panicking
You're
a bit.
panicking. You understand? I'm not panicking. I'm pissed off because we lost. There's a difference between me and you. You're panicking. I ain't panicking, blood. We'll get top 4, blood.
Thank you, troops from Arsenal Fan TV, for giving us that wonderful clip. You're not panicking. No one's panicking. No one wants the top 4. Who wants it? Do you want it? Do you want it? Do you want it? No one wants it. Never ask a guy if he wants it. Pause. But who wants it? Does United want it?
Nope.
Does Chelsea want it?
Nope.
Do Arsenal want it?
Nope.
Are any of them good enough?
Nope.
If we could have a top 3 and give the top 4 to any random team in a different league that perhaps does deserve it, I would go on that ledge and do that. Because on a weekend where you all lose,
Yeah.
one of you can't turn up, and I look more so towards Chelsea because they were the last team to see everything that crumbled.
Thank you. Yep.
And I looked to Arsenal because of their great home record.
Okay.
And the fact that United, the reason why we're going to kill them in a second,
Yes.
but the reason why the United thing didn't really surprise me a bit, along with their form, is the fact that Everton have done pretty damn well at Goodison over the past month or 2 or 3. Look to them beating Chelsea there.
Mm-hmm.
I look to them drawing Liverpool there.
Yep.
And I look to them giving City a really tough game there.
Absolutely.
So that didn't surprise me. But if we're going to go in chronological order, we already killed Spurs. Well, we didn't kill Spurs, but Spurs are the ones that kind of get a pass because of what they've gone through, and then they played City.
Yes.
So whatever, you get a pass. We go to United first before we get to little troops.
Okay.
And I got steamrolled.
Yeah.
Steamrolled.
Yep.
Put in a body bag.
Played off the park.
64 minutes.
Yep.
All she wrote. Was the Sigurds, who scored the opener? Richarlison scored the opener from a little throw-in.
Yes.
Flicked on. Yeah, Digne with a little shot from.
Actually, I like that. That was nice.
That's fine. Yeah,
Gilfy.
Yeah, Gilfy. David got to save that.
Yes.
David got to save that.
And then you got Theo capping it off.
And they got ripped apart on that one.
Oh yeah.
But David, yeah. And it was so simple. I don't think they had maybe one chance where Pogba played that diagonal out to Rashford. I'd like to say.
Yep.
But it was so simple. And you look at the United squad and you look at those players on the pitch. And I'm happy it was those players that were on the pitch.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very happy. Barring Fred. Because I feel like it's tough for him to come this season. Chosen by Mourinho, not getting to play, finally gets to play, starts playing well, then has to endure that.
Okay, that's fair. You want to give him a pass?
Well, not for the performance, but I mean, for everything in its totality. I look at it, I'm like, okay, well, Fred kind of gets it. And I don't know if they're not that great because Luke Shaw's out, and he's played a key component to their squad.
Listen, what you just said right there is indicative of that team right there.
Yeah, okay. So I'm looking for ways to kind of help them out here.
No, there's no way to help them out. Just rip them.
Put
him to the sword.
No, hold on.
Okay.
So I'm looking for ways to try and help them out. And I have to say that if David De Gea is letting in a goal like that, I really do think he should do better there. And I feel like he's letting goals like that this season.
You're talking Sigurdsson. Because I don't think he's at fault for any of the other ones.
Yeah, I'm talking about Sigurdsson.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think you really got to save that. And if there's anything that you should know, Gliffy is an interesting player because I don't think he always plays extremely well or to the level that people think he can. But set piece or shot from distance, you'd kind of like to be a bit aware.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're here. We're here, and I've said this week after week. I've said this month after month. Even when I thought that they'd get back into this little top 4 race, and they are blowing up before our eyes.
Oh, yeah.
They are blowing up before our eyes. They should be in the top 4. They should finish in the top 4. Not because they're great or any better than the other bums, but they should just finish there based on the fact that we've seen Chelsea's been doing what they've been doing all season. We know Arsenal's issues with the lack of competent defenders.
Mm-hmm.
So they kind of get a pass for that because Emery needs time to get those competent defenders.
Yep.
But a lot of these players have been there for a while. A lot of these players have been doing this for too long. A lot of these players came from different clubs with the expectation to help United be better than they are.
Mm-hmm.
And they weren't able to do that. And a lot of them were on that pitch. And it leads to something. I like to think that when I say things on this podcast, they may seem a bit controversial, or they may seem like I'm deluded or insane, or why am I saying that? Or I'm kind of living in the moment. But when I say things on this podcast, I say it with the intent that I'm looking a few weeks or a few months down the line. I'm not judging it for what it is now. And I always felt that new manager drip, new manager bounce, all of this stuff would eventually come back to haunt United. Every single thing. When I assess their players, when I assess Paul, when I assess Anthony, when I assess Marcus, when I assess Romelu, I assess them not when I assess them. I look at it from a long-term perspective. And everything that I've said about them this season has practically come to fruition now. And there's a great chance they may not finish in the top 4.
There's a very good chance.
Yeah, there's a very good chance. Because now they got to go to... Now they host City.
Yes.
And they need a big performance. I'm not going to say that they're not going to win.
No.
And I'm not going to say they're not going to get a result. But they are going to have to play light years better than they have over the past month or so. Or they have to play better than what they've done under Ollie. Mm-hmm. They have to eclipse that. And I don't know if they can do that. And then, let's say, if they don't do that, they got another date with Chelsea.
That's right.
And boy, if you want to finish in the top 4, if you're at home, you got to win that.
Yep.
You have to. And I don't care who they face after that, because I think we could assess...
Huddersfield, Cardiff.
Okay. You would like to think that those boys show up for that.
But is 6 points... Is 6 points enough?
Exactly. That's why I said we have to address that next Monday.
That's right.
Or perhaps Thursday. Because it could all be done by the time the Chelsea game is done.
That's what I'm saying.
So that's my point. Yeah. And what's funny is that now United Twitter and everyone else, they're playing the card. Oh, well, maybe it's the players. It took you until April to realize that perhaps the players aren't good enough. Let's not blame the manager. But
you know that it's funny that it's now the players.
Yeah.
Why is it now the players? Is it because Ollie is a United legend?
Is it because he was trying to do it the United way? Because clearly Mourinho was not United and he didn't know the way. So he couldn't do it the United way. And he was telling you how it is. But now when Ollie calls out the players.
Yep. Oh, no, it's fine.
No, it's fine. We like a manager that does that.
When Gary calls them out.
Oh, the thing about Gary, and we're going to get to him right now.
Rancid. I like that word.
Yeah.
It was a rancid performance.
Gary's playing all sides of the fence.
Oh,
because
of course.
At first, at the start, we have to back Mourinho. Cool.
Yep.
Then no, Ollie is the man. Jose Mourinho had lost it. The players are now playing for him. The United way. Yada, yada, yada.
And now?
Now we'll get to now.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers.
But no one has the answer.
I'm furious, to be honest with you. The fact that he's had to go over and apologise for them. I've often said that clubs over the last 7 years, if you've got weeds in the garden, you've got to get rid of them. But there's some Japanese knotweed at that football club. And it's attacking the foundations of the house that needs dealing with properly. The idea that Ollie, a few weeks ago, I said that, Jose Mourinho, the fans stuck with him but wanted him out at the end. They ain't going to want Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out. They're not going to turn Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Those players now, well and truly, their heads are on the line. I watched Manchester City yesterday, who Manchester United are trying to get to in terms of the top of the Premier League in Liverpool. Bernardo Silva, Raheem Sterling, Kevin De Bruyne, David Silva, far better players that are in that Manchester United dressing room who work twice as hard. Everton run 4 kilometres further in the first half. Everton. And then you watch this mob out here, Liverpool, who are the biggest rivals. They die for every single inch on the pitch. And Manchester United players, honestly, it's embarrassing just watching some of those out there today. I'm absolutely furious. Full belief in Ola to do what he needs to do. The club obviously will support him, but there's a big problem. And I have to say that performance today was rancid.
Rancid. It took him this long to figure that out.
Rancid.
He named 5 players on that. He just named from the City team, but you can add a whole bunch of Liverpool players there. We're talking about players that are in a different class. It's like saying to me, you drive a Mazda and I have a Ferrari. Yeah, well, yeah. And mine can go faster than yours. I would hope so. You know, I don't buy that. I don't buy that. Yes, he what Gary said there, he stated the obvious. All those players are working much harder than the United players. But we told you that a long time ago.
We told United Twitter that a long time ago. But, you know, you can't say anything bad about Marcus. You can't say anything bad about Anthony. You definitely can't say anything bad about Paul.
Oh, no.
Who apparently, you know, it's the rumored report that him and Mino are trying to force a little move out to go, you know, work with Zidane.
Okay.
That's totally fine.
Yeah.
If I'm United, name it.
Yeah.
Name it. Because and it just goes to my agenda, or the agenda that I apparently have with Zidane too, is that when Paul goes there, we're gonna learn a lot about both of them. We're gonna learn a lot about both of them.
He thinks he's gonna get out of Manchester and that's gonna solve his problems. It's not.
The problem is you.
It's not the location, my friend. It's not the location. Okay,
it's not the color of the jersey.
Nope.
Yeah, you just thought, we're wearing red. Maybe if I would go wear white, things will go back to normal. Maybe not have black, but wear black shoes.
Yeah.
No, come on, Paul. The performance was terrible.
And we're talking about the performance as a whole, not just him.
Yeah, no, we're not killing him.
No, we've killed him enough.
Yeah, well, I killed all of them. I killed him.
That's what I'm saying.
Rashford's the only one that kind of gets some praise because at least we see some effort.
Okay.
Martial's a bum. I'm gonna go out and say it.
Yep.
I don't get that. I never got the hype. I still don't get the hype. People really want him to be good.
Yes.
But he's not. Not now.
Nope.
Maybe in a few years, but not now. Matic is done.
Yep.
That's already been said. Paul is Paul. Who I don't know who the hell was playing fullback. Delo is not ready yet, but he's promising. Yeah, I don't know who was playing on the left.
Lindelof.
Lindelof was there. Yeah, you know, like, come on, man. And if David's not saving you, if he's making that kind of error, you know, it's kind of toast. Full credit to Everton. We should give them some credit.
Yes.
They did what they had to do. They sat deep.
Mm-hmm.
They broke when they could. They were pushing hard. That's not what we expected from them. They're very interesting side. And Marco has definitely kind of been the lesser reactive version of Nuno, where they've punched above their weight. More so Everton at home.
At home, then away.
Because
they've been poor in some
Wolves
matches away.
have done it on both spectrums.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good to see that happening because a lot of people had high hopes for this Everton squad. I didn't. And I didn't think Richarlison would be that good. But he's slightly turning it around now. And, you know, maybe, I don't know if Marco's going to last this summer, but we'll see. We'll see how they approach that. But they need to be back to those type of performances.
Mm-hmm.
So we get back to United. G-Nev, our boy, still had more to say.
I don't need to name names, Dave. Everyone knows who they are. They're in the newspapers every single day. They're on social media every single day.
Well, I think people would assume you're talking about Paul Pogba, but before the game today, you said it wasn't Pogba.
He'll deal with them. Every single player who does not have the attitude, forget.
pause that for a second. Gary, man, just say it's Paul. Just say it's Paul. You know it's Paul. Everyone there in that studio knew it was Paul. So why'd you just say it was Paul?
Yeah.
Sky ain't gonna kill you.
No.
Well, they might. This is kind of embellishing their brand, or not embellishing, tarnishing their brand. Paul is a brand
Sure.
that helps the Premier League. You know,
But does he?
I don't know. I just don't know why I wouldn't say it. I don't want to call him pussy. So
No. But if you're gonna, that's the one thing that I don't like about that. If you're gonna take a run at somebody, take a full run.
Yeah.
Call them out.
Yeah, the papers love that.
Yeah.
The papers would appreciate it.
Yeah.
Because
they're gonna speculate anyway.
We're all thinking it.
Yeah.
Some people were thinking it much later than us,
Right.
but we know it.
Yeah. It's Paul.
Yeah. It better be Paul.
I've been over the last maybe 12 to 18 months, myself falling into the trap of talking about, oh, they've got potential, they've got talent. Forget it. If they don't work hard and haven't got the attitude to run around in that shirt, get rid of them. Because I'm watching players out here play for Liverpool, I'm watching players yesterday play for Manchester City, and they're working their absolute backsides off every single week for their football club. And I'm watching Manchester United players on that football pitch walk around, saunter around, jogging.
I didn't hear anymore.
No.
Because you want to know what the difference is at those two clubs that he's naming? Number one, they hired the right guy.
Good.
Number two, they gave the right guy backing.
Yes.
Number three, when things were looking rocky for the right guy, they gave him patience. They let him sort it out. They let him make the decisions that he made. Number four, when I look at specifically Phil Foden this weekend, and I watch his performance, and I watched him not play for large stretches of the season and not sulk, knowing that he's with the first team, and that's a privilege to be with the first team and to enjoy time with the first team and work with these great players, opposed to sulking and demanding a transfer and feeling the sense of entitlement that he needs to play, which is why I hate these new cats, these new kids that come in and feel that everything should be handed to them. Phil bided his time.
Yep.
Pep didn't have to play him this weekend.
He did not.
He did not. And Phil waited for his opportunity. And when Phil got his opportunity, when he's playing alongside Kevin and Aguero and Raheem, who could be player of the year, and everyone in that City squad, along with the guys at Spurs that are doing well, Eriksen, Son, you know what Phil did? Phil delivered.
And he's learned.
Yeah.
He's taken that time, that mentoring, that those, and I'm sure David Silva,
Yep.
Fernandinho,
Yep.
okay, all of those guys, and it's gonna lead me to a word that United doesn't have: leaders.
Yes.
They do not have. If I look on that pitch, there's not one person that I can say on that field that are true leaders. But when I look at City, when I look at Liverpool, okay, there are true leaders on that field.
And then you look to United, and you have all these players that I have to see on social media that are doing the utmost. And I'm sorry for Paul, but Paul is the spokesperson for the social media branding, getting the jokes off, the dances, and that's cool. That's part of being a professional. That's great that you're engaging with the fans. That's great that you're out there. But your job also is to perform to the highest level. I don't even have to say perform for the badge, because I'm not even having the badge talk.
No.
I'm not having the badge talk.
No.
Perform for yourself.
Yes.
Do this for you.
Yes.
You're going to go out there and you're fighting for a top 4 spot, and you're going to let players, like, I could never be an athlete or a true competitor and let players that I knew were inferior to me outperform me.
Correct.
Outwork me.
But that's just, forget being just at work, at your everyday job. You know that that you're more intelligent or more competent or skilled, whatever it may be, and you are watching that person do things that you have the ability to do so much better.
Yeah. And you go out and do that. And I'm not going to say that Jozy was perfect. Jozy had his faults. He did put himself in a rough position. And I can understand why he gets the criticism that he gets.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to watch this happen, and you knowing that the players gave up on him and did what they did, and you thought that it wouldn't happen again?
Yep.
You thought that the table wouldn't turn against Ollie? What has Ollie ever done? What can Ollie do?
Yeah.
You know? And now you look at it, and I look at them, and I'm like, boy, did they mess up. But like I told you a few weeks ago, that they messed up. And now they're probably looking at it, it's like, damn, can we fire someone that we just appointed the full-time job?
Nope.
That's the thing. Because I even saw Poch linked to, like, Bayern. I don't know if you saw that.
Yeah, I did.
And I don't know how legitimate that is. That's why Jim's probably should have been here.
Yeah.
But you look at that, and you're watching Poch doing what he does and leading us side to a Champions League semifinal. And you hired this guy. And I don't care how much money you give him. The nature of, or the use of money has no bearing on shaping the outcome of your club.
Correct.
And we've seen that because United, it's not like United haven't spent a lot of money.
Nope.
They spent a shit ton of money.
And it's not that other clubs in other leagues haven't tried the same way. And they haven't been successful in that route. And when I look at that club, and when I look at the players on that pitch, there are a number of players that need to go. I don't care. You can spend all the money in the world you want. That team is 2 or 3 years away from being contenders.
Yeah.
And do you think that those United fans are going to have, in 2 or 3 years, still Ollie on the bench? They may not have him on the bench 2 or 3 months into the next season. Forget 2 or 3 years.
Yeah.
That there are a number of players on that squad that are not good enough.
Yeah.
So what are they going to do? They're going to replace the whole squad? They're going to buy 12 players? Because you need at least 6 to 7 new players on that team.
Yeah. And remember that was my thing with the Mourinho thing. It's like, as toxic as it can be, and as messed up as Mourinho was and probably wanted to be out, still felt they should have rode with him.
Mm-hmm.
Just because at the end of the day, you could just carry out whatever he has planned. He knows. He said that his best achievement in his career was finishing second with that squad.
And we laughed.
Well, everyone laughed. I didn't laugh. Because you look at that squad.
Okay, and people laughed.
Yeah, a lot of people laughed.
Yeah.
A lot of people laughed. What did they have last season? Like 19 clean sheets?
Yeah.
This season, they've conceded the most goals in a Premier League season.
Mm-hmm.
They can't even keep a clean sheet now.
Nope.
So it's one of those things, and we get back to your point. If they don't make the Champions League, and you want to know what? Even if they make the Champions League,
Okay.
to think that they have all this work to do, because making the Champions League will not be successful because there's still a lot of groundwork that they have to do over the summer to make it worthwhile. And if they think, because whoever they're going to buy, they have to overpay. Because if they think they're going to get the players that I see on their little transfer wish list on United Twitter, come on. You think half the world doesn't want Koulibaly? You think half the world doesn't want De Ligt?
And you don't think that do you think it's just you who wants Koulibaly? You think it's just you who wants? That's fine. If I'm Napoli, I am jacking up the price.
That's my point.
Get ready to spend 150 or something.
That's my point.
Crazy for Koulibaly.
That's my point. You're lucky if you get Bale on a little cheap.
That's right.
And even then, because that's the type of move that I can see United making.
And hope to resignate his career.
Get Gareth, get Griezmann if no one else wants him. Those are the type of moves I can see them making. But the thing is, you're in a dogfight.
Yeah,
you are in a dogfight. And Champions League or no Champions League, I understand the brand, but when other bigger teams come knocking, there's a difference. There are players that want to play for Jurgen. There are players that want to play for Pep. There are players that want to go to Barca, that want to go to Real Madrid, that would want to go to Juve, that would want to go to Bayern.
And I had said this before, and the thing is that most of those guys, the top name guys, want to win.
Yeah.
and they want to have that opportunity to win, not just domestically, but also in Europe.
Yep.
And when you go to a team, and I'll give Juve as the example, okay, you know that 90% of the chance is that you're going to win a Scudetto. You even may win Coppa Italia.
Yeah.
And you are in the running to win a Champions League, depending on how things work out, but they're always in the mix. But you know when you go to a team like that you have a chance to win trophies. And at the end of the day, you're judged on, at the end of your career, how many titles you've won. That's how you're judged.
Yeah.
As wrong or right, that is the way you are judged. You may be judged on how many goals you score, but at the end of the day, you are judged on the titles that you win, individually, as a team, whatever.
Yep. Hey, man, all I got to say is this, and I've said it from day one, and I've said it throughout this season, and I'll say it one more time, and who knows, we may say it a few more times, because it has to be said. At the end of the day, feel the Ollie thing was premature. I felt it from the moment that Fabs was still here and harping that they have to. No. And now they're stuck with that. Fine. But look, I don't know who they're going to try to get. I don't know who they're successfully going to get. And I don't think they could continue down this road of getting players that perhaps could be great. Because those players, there's so much uncertainty at this club.
Mm-hmm.
It's that why would you risk your career to go there barring a big payout?
That's right.
But even that's not going to cut it. Because we don't even know about David.
No.
You know? So I look at them and I say this. You know, how many players in that squad would start anywhere else? Barring David? At the big clubs? None. How many players... Well, I don't want to ask United Twitter. Because how many players would you realistically want to keep? How many of those players do you think is good enough? Because I told you already. Marcus ain't good enough. Anthony ain't good enough. Jesse ain't good enough. Romelu is not good enough. Was never good enough. That midfield, that entire midfield, not good enough. The Matas, the Matiches, the purchases that you made for players with Premier League experience, they were not good enough.
Nope.
The backline,
and many of those guys are at the end of their career.
Last legs.
Yep.
Backline, not good enough. You have a squad that's not good enough. That is nowhere near challenging for a Premier League title.
Mm-hmm.
And that one summer transfer window with all these other clubs around that are also looking. You look at all those clubs this season that didn't do well in the Champions League.
They're looking to
that
retool.
Are looking to retool. The Bayerns, the Real Madrids, the Juventuses, the Atletico Madrids. Perhaps Barca if they don't win.
Yep.
City is definitely going to retool.
Mm-hmm.
You would think perhaps Liverpool might.
They're in a dogfight to get players, and like I've said to you, and I don't want to keep going because we've talked about the Premier League for a long time. I don't see the pull. I don't see the pull of the Manchester United that there once was, and if they don't make it into the top 4, that pull has gone down even more. Yeah. And how many more years is this cycle going to be where you may not make the top 4 again? Arsenal's going to get better.
Yep.
Chelsea, well,
the transfer ban, all that garbage.
Right. But Spurs are going to eventually spend a little bit of money. And God, wait till if that team starts to spend a little bit of money, they're not going to catch them. They're ahead of United.
Yeah.
And then there's Liverpool and City, who are already well ahead of United. Yep. So we may not see United in the Champions League for possibly 2, maybe even 3 seasons. And how's that brand gonna be? How's that Europa League?
I'm not gonna go that far but they got some in terms of the seasons, but they got some issues. We agree that they have some issues. Now their fans agree, and blame the players. Ollie is not good enough. Sorry. He's not. Unless he changes something over these next 2 weeks or a week, then no. And I feel like they made the wrong decision. And like I said, that was going to set them backwards. We'll see how they handle that.
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal also blew a great opportunity. You want to talk about Christian Benteke? You want to talk about Christian? Oh, Christian came back.
Yeah.
Christian came back. And we look at it now. That Arsenal, Emery got it wrong again.
Yep.
And I'm going to say he got it wrong because I don't know why the hell you need to play a 3-man backline against a Palace side that's going to sit that deep. I don't know why. And with you playing that 3-man backline and playing a midfield of Gunduzi and El Neni, where's the creativity coming from? Jenkinson?
Yeah.
That's got to end. And I understand. But this is my thing with that whole thing. At some point, with them at least, they got to figure out a way. They got to pick one competition. I think Arsenal has to pick one competition and roll with it.
Yep.
Because their Spurs isn't really in this situation, but
I know where you're gonna. I know where you're gonna go.
They could risk losing out on both.
Right.
Because you can't tell me that you're playing on Thursday at Napoli. I get it, but then you turn around and play that squad at this time.
Yes.
So you got to pick one. If you're all in on the Europa League, and I don't see why they shouldn't feel like they shouldn't be all in on the Europa League if they want to.
Right.
Then you go in all the way and you win it.
That's right. And I think you took my sentiment exactly. You have to pick at this point if you're Arsenal with this team.
Yeah, with this team. Yeah.
Okay. Because we're not talking about Arsenal of the past that had the ability to play in two competitions and whatnot. With this team, you need to pick one or the other. You have to put your eggs in one basket.
Yeah.
And if your decision is to take the Europa League basket, and I'm not judging you one way or the other. I'm just saying you have to make a stand.
Yeah.
You can't have it both ways.
Yeah. But I think with Emery's thinking, it's the fact that I don't like their run-in based off the fact that they play a lot of away games at tough places. And I felt that Palace was a tough game. I felt that Watford was a tough game. I'm pretty sure they play Leicester City. I'm pretty sure they play Wolves. They play Wolves on Wednesday.
They play Wolves away, Leicester away, Brighton at home, and then Burnley away.
Those are 3 tough games.
Yes.
Away.
And we know how Wolves play.
And we know how Arsenal play on the road. They're not the greatest. They got by in that Watford game that perhaps they could have won more, but Deeney was sent off.
Right.
So we don't know how really that game should have went.
Yep.
So my thing with them is
based. And it's not that they scored a fantastic goal, by the way.
Yeah. So my thing there is that you have these Thursday and Sunday games, and if your players if you have to rotate the entire squad with all the injuries that you have, it doesn't make sense.
Nope.
And I said last week, I really want them to finish in the top 4 because I feel like at least there, Emery has something.
The best project.
Yeah. And I feel like he could work with that. And I feel like they've punched above their weight. I feel like they've overachieved. And I feel like they need to show something for it this season. And I really want him to show something for it.
Yep.
But I just feel like if you're going to play this game where, yes, you beat Napoli away from home, but then you throw out those guys on the Sunday, you shouldn't be losing. I understand Palace beat City. I understand Palace is a tough game. It's a London derby, and the fact that they're going to play the way that they do. But that's a tough way to lose. And just the goals that they conceded. The first one, Mustafi loses his guy. Corner kick. The second one was even worse. Yep. Because Mustafi's a little lazy.
A little bit?
A little lazy bum. Because he beat you. World Cup winner.
Yeah. Believe it or not.
And I remember, I saw all the Twitter turmoil, and I was like, there's no way he could have been that bad. No. He was that bad. You got turned, and you just gave up on the play. And then the third goal is still bad.
Yes.
Because everyone switched off.
Exactly.
And it shouldn't be the case where you have to keep chasing games. That was the MO for Arsenal at the earlier part of the season.
That's right.
Can't win the first half, have to come back.
Exactly.
But you can only do that for so long in a 38-game season.
And Palace aren't a bad team.
Yeah.
And a team, even a team like Palace, if you're chasing that game, look, eventually you're going to run out of steam.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what happened. I don't like Arsenal's run-in, as we've just said. There's a lot of games that are away, a lot of games to quality opponents away. at the end of the day, if you're gonna ask me, I think they should put their eggs in the Europa League basket because I think they have a very good chance to beat a Valencia team home and away.
Oh, you nice. A lot of people think. I'm not saying that they can't. I do think that's a tough tie. I do like. I know the whole London derby Europa League.
Yeah.
But I feel like a lot of people, not you, but a lot of people aren't giving Valencia much credit for what Marcelino's done with them over the second half of the season. And I feel like Frankfurt's going to beat Chelsea.
Yeah, I watched that Frankfurt team today, by the way.
They're
They're a little bit too open for my liking.
Yeah.
And if they play the way that they did today against Wolfsburg, they might be in for a battering against Chelsea. So they're going to have to close up that defense.
I think they'll be fine. And, I feel Chelsea are going to go full throttle too, so Hazard's going to play. But I feel like Chelsea going there, that could be a big problem for Chelsea.
Mm-hmm.
And I think they got a good supporting crowd with them going to Stamford Bridge. And I feel like anyone could win at Stamford Bridge nowadays. So, but Arsenal, I could get why you would say that. I see why Emery's doing what he's doing, because as tough as those away games are, you have to have some faith in your squad that they should be able to win those.
Mm-hmm. And Valencia are in the same situation as Arsenal, by the way. They're in fifth right now.
Yeah.
They're 2 points behind Getafe.
Yeah, that's a nice top four race over there in Spain too.
Yeah, tied on points with Sevilla. So, like we talk about Arsenal, but there's very much similarities between Valencia and Arsenal. They're both going to have to decide what to do here.
I think Valencia's taking the Europa League seriously, to be truthfully honest with
you. Okay.
I think that's the way they're going with it. And I feel like they should look at this and feel that they should be able to beat any side in the competition.
Mm-hmm.
Because they're not a bad squad. They just had a really rough start to the season.
Yes.
So I think that they should look at that the same way. And I can understand why Arsenal's looking at both competitions. I get that. But like, if we got to keep seeing, you got to turn to Jenkinson.
Right.
And a midfield with Guendouzi and Elneny because of the injuries that you have.
Mm-hmm.
You got to prioritize one. I do feel like the safer bet would be to win out your games in the league. I do feel like that would be the best way to go about it.
But I don't think Arsenal have that ability to win out. Not in that schedule.
I think that schedule is much better than by putting all your eggs in a two-legged tie. But they got to pick one, and I really hope that they decide. We could go back and forth, but I really hope that they make the right decision, and I really hope they finish in the top four, because after what Troop said, we're going to kill Troops if they don't.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to kill him. Yeah, you should be a bit nervous.
I would be.
Buddy, I'd be really nervous. But
the other team?
The other team, and that's the reason why Arsenal still have a great glimmer of hope, because when you have all of it on the line and you have arguably the best player in the league and you can't beat Burnley, and when I mean,
at home,
and when I mean can't beat Burnley at home, I mean not even put up an attempt to beat Burnley.
Nope.
Going into halftime tied 2-2 with some dreadful. We talk about some dreadful set piece defending from Burnley.
Oh
we got another exhibit over in West London. Chelsea 2-2 Burnley. Burnley not really offering much, sticking to typically what most average soccer fans would expect them to do. Executing on set pieces, relying on the front
that's
two
their MO
of Barnes and Wood.
I think they scored 21 of their goals. Yeah. Those two combined.
Yeah. It's what they do best.
Yep.
They're kind of like a less athletic, technically gifted Jota and Jimenez.
Correct.
In terms of partnerships. And they go and do that. Chelsea, not much that they could really say. Little fracas at the end in the tunnel. Not a good look.
Nope.
Some frustration.
Yes.
Midfield not clicking. Higuain scoring, but Giroud coming on a bit late, but not enough.
Mm-hmm.
Hudson-Odoi.
Achilles?
I don't know, but he wasn't playing good anyways.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about him later. It's another great example of young entitlement, because I've seen him get his chances now.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll tell you, he ain't starting for Bayern. And if I'm Bayern, I'm watching that. I ain't paying $40 million for him.
Nope.
Anytime soon. And then we have Eden. He cogged to the first goal.
Yes.
I thought he started the game well. And this is my only gripe with Eden. And I feel like it's rightly deserved. At some point, I know this may not be the player that you are, but at some point when you know you're the guy,
You got to take the game by the balls.
at some point when you're running at two guys, I would like to think that you would cut inside and try and shoot, then cut outside left and trying to deliver a low cross into the box.
Thank you.
And that's my only gripe with him.
Yep.
Because to sidetrack that, actually, no. Anything else you got to say about Chelsea?
No, I don't think there was much to say,
This
to be
is-
honest. So I'll let you keep going.
They were just very underwhelming again at home. A great opportunity. I think this was their best opportunity to put a great stamp on finishing the top four.
Yes.
Because by dropping this game, I compare this game to what United thought the West Ham game was before they capitulated.
Yes.
You have to win.
Yes.
Because I don't think Chelsea are going to go to Old Trafford and win.
Nope.
They've shown me nothing to suggest that they're going to go there and win. And then after that, I'm pretty sure they have to play.
They play Frankfurt away.
Yeah.
Then at home against Watford. At home against
Against
Frankfurt. Away to
Wait.
Leicester.
Yes. And those are two games that just like Arsenal, where they have tough games, I don't know if Chelsea are going to get maximum points in any of those games.
No, I don't think so. I agree with you. I don't see them getting 3 points at United. Watford is what Watford is. I don't know what team shows up
we
there.
don't know what shows up because of the FA Cup.
That's right, and that's where I was going. And then away to Leicester, which is a tough place to finish your season off. I know Leicester have nothing to play for, but that's still a good team at home.
Brendan's still going to play.
Yes.
So you get what I'm saying? I don't know. But Chelsea have put themselves in a big pickle, and I don't want them or United to finish in the top four. I'll say that. I don't really care.
Mhm.
I don't want them to. I don't think they deserve to, and that's where we stand. That is where we stand. I really hope Arsenal and Spurs get it. Spurs solely based off the fact that, out of the four, they're the ones I trust the most. I don't even trust them that much.
Mhm.
And Arsenal, just the project there, I believe that they could actually build something there if they give money to Emery to invest in. That is another whole topic that we could discuss in the summer.
Yep.
But I would like to see them at least attempt to give him money and see what he could do with it if he finishes in the top four, because I think he deserves it given it's his first season and he's worked with what he's had. So before we leave the Premier League, they announced the PFA Players of the Year
I saw that.
nominees. So I'm assuming we'll get into it next week. You assume Van Dijk's gonna win?
Yes. I'll say Van Dijk if Liverpool win.
And if Liverpool don't, I still think
Sterling.
But they announced it before, I think.
Oh, they do?
I think they announced it before. Yeah, they announced it
Oh,
before.
okay. Well, I thought they waited till after. Okay, so then Van Dijk wins it.
Yeah, I think Van Dijk wins it. I wouldn't give it to him, but I think Van Dijk's going to win.
Yep.
So we'll leave that there. And we'll discuss that in depth
Yes.
when they announce it. Anything else that really matters? Delafeu scored a great goal.
Yeah.
Wolves end up losing.
Yep.
Fulham won.
Hey,
They
shout out
beat
to Fulham.
Bournemouth. I
Yes.
think that's their second clean sheet in a row. They decide to win when everything's all but done. And I just gotta say about Wolves, man. They can't. We're gonna kill them.
Okay, but not today.
Okay, can't score against Brighton.
Yeah.
Got the double against Huddersfield.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I needed that clean sheet.
Yeah. Anyhow, what La Liga? Nothing really to talk about in La Liga. Barca won. I just do want to say that Big Ben's for Ballon d'Or.
Oh yes, he
Big
scored
Ben's
two.
for Ballon d'Or. Big Ben's for Ballon d'Or. Big Ben's got a hat trick.
I know.
He got a hat trick. I think he scored like Madrid's last 8 goals or something
Yes.
like that. Big Ben's. Lopetegui did say he could score 30 to 40 goals.
We'll see next year.
Yeah, build it around. Well, he's done it. He scored 30 in all competitions.
Oh, he's scored 30? Okay.
Yeah, so good for him. Shout out to Big Ben's. I do think that if he didn't do whatever he did with Ribéry and that whole nonsense,
Oh, you know what?
back in the day,
yeah.
he would be starting for France, and they would
Absolutely
and
would.
they'd be much better.
Yes.
Because he's a better option than Giroud and could do what Giroud
Oh,
does.
absolutely.
So I really feel for him, and I think he's been great. And
Let that be a lesson to you kids.
yeah, don't do what Benzema did. If
Yeah.
you do your research.
Yeah.
But I feel that Benzema gets a bit of slag for whatever reasons because he's been doing the dirty work for Ronaldo.
Yes.
And it's just sad that Madrid are in the state that they are in, not because of Benzema.
No. And
Well-
actually, it's funny. He's been better without Ronaldo around.
Yeah. which is not a surprise because
No.
I always felt that he's an elite striker that doesn't get the credit he deserves because Ronaldo was scoring all the goals.
Yes.
I'm pretty sure
Run through
Atletico won. I don't care.
Yes.
Anything else in Spain that you really want to touch?
No. Run through the other leagues too while you're at it.
Germany. Bayern, nervy win.
Yes.
Very nervy win. And yeah, the Sula goal, very fortunate.
Mm-hmm.
And I wasn't impressed with their performance, but I will go back to the point that I used for Liverpool and City. Just got to get it done.
Yep.
Just got to get done.
And Bayern or Borussia destroy Freiburg.
Yeah, I watched all of that. I got most of Bayern. But Borussia, that was their best performance in a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
And Marco Reus is incredible, and he is, like we've said this season, they go as far as Reus takes them, and he was spectacular. And I think Götze scored his first away goal since 2016.
He did.
But very good for Borussia Dortmund, who are pushing this till the end. And I know that they had a rough 3 to 4 weeks span,
Mm-hmm.
and that happens to teams. But the fact that if they push this to the end, I will not kill them.
Nope.
And that's all I have to say about them. You watched the battle for the top 4. Did Frankfurt win?
They tied.
Okay. I didn't even know that top 4 race was that close because I don't really care.
Yes, they
Sorry,
did.
Jims.
They tied. Played well actually. This is the first time I watched them all year, and I can see why they're an exciting team. A little bit too open, even against Wolfsburg. If Wolfsburg had any sort of
I know.
talent,
I know.
they would have buried a couple.
We're going to get to that. You know what? We're going to do our due diligence to watch more Bundesliga next season
Sure.
when we get a full season in as a group. So that's done. And we moved to Italy quickly.
Hey.
The big game that I watched was
What did you watch?
Inter against Roma.
How was that?
And Roma did what they had to do. Sat very deep, allowed Politano. The one problem was that they kept allowing Politano to cut in and deliver crosses, and they were trying to get expose Florenzi at the far post.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually they did get their equalizer, but Roma threw Dzeko. If Dzeko's on, they're dangerous. And I felt like they were much more organized in this game, and they were controlled without having the ball, but they didn't really have much of a counterattacking threat, barring Dzeko holding up the ball, sliding into El Shaarawy. And the same thing with Inter, just not enough creativity. They eventually pulled off Nangolan, brought on Icardi. And when they brought on Icardi with Lautaro, that was the reason that helped them score the goal, because now they had 2 bodies in the box, occupied Juan Jesus and I forgot who else was playing center back, but Fazio.
Oh.
And that kind of shaped the game in itself. But missed opportunity for Roma. Inter's going to be fine because everyone else below them just can't win games.
That's right.
And that's the big thing there. So I feel like that was a missed opportunity for Roma because they came in with a plan, but they just weren't dealing with crosses from the wider areas. And eventually that threat, as much as they were coping with it, it did lead to their downfall here.
Your boys are right into it, eh?
I know. We're going to get into that in a bit because Milan drew Parma, and I don't expect anything else from Milan. I'm not wasting any time on them. They drew. Torino did win as well.
Yes, they did.
The biggest problem here is Lazio, and this is why I don't feel bad for them, because Milinkovic-Savic, you cannot, in this type of top 4 race, when it's legitimately at reach, you can't do that.
Nope.
And now you're going to miss 3 games?
Yes.
We're going to say
3.
3. You can't do that. You cannot do that. Immaturity, young, but you can't do that at this stage of the season.
Not if you're looking to make a transfer to a big club.
Yeah, that's a big blemish on whatever people think of you. That's very disappointing, and I expected a bit more. So that's where they fell off. And then we get to today.
Get to your boys.
We get to today.
Because I see the smile on your face.
We get to today. Atalanta, I feel like it's going to become a dream. I feel like it may happen. They're getting my hopes up before they crush it.
If they do make it, are you cheering for Atalanta next year?
Of course.
Okay, just making sure.
I'm cheering for them now.
I know, but
full-fledged. Hope Zapata stays or Papu.
Yeah,
and get a jersey. Of course.
Okay, I'm just making sure if that's your team, if that's your Serie A team. Do they
got a shop site?
I will. You know what? I'll say this on the pod. Yeah. If they make it into the Champions League,
buy a jersey.
I will buy you an Atalanta jersey.
Perfect.
With your name on the back.
No, I want Papu Gomez.
Oh, you want? Okay.
That's my guy.
Okay, fine.
And Duvan. But they should have lost that game.
They should have.
They should have lost that game.
If Napoli knew how to finish. Well, if Napoli knew how to finish.
Milik, man.
By the way, but that's a great goal line save.
But this should have never been a goal line save.
I know. He should have finished just that.
Never been a goal line save.
But I think that right there, that game itself, is the problem with Napoli.
Sums up their season in a nutshell.
Yep. Because if we want to go way back to the game against Red Star,
if they were ruthless,
they're actually through in that group.
Yeah, but I do think I do think this is better for them because I don't know if they would have burned down the Champions League.
No, I'm just saying in general that is a problem.
No.
When you say why is the title race as lopsided as it is in Serie A, it's because a lot of teams like Napoli don't take their chances against teams like Atalanta. You can even say, I mean, look, Fiorentina should have beat Juve this weekend too.
Yep.
Fiorentina doesn't take their chances. There are many teams that when they play the big teams or even the small teams have a number of chances, don't finish it off, and then drop points. And I don't want to talk too much about Juve, but Juve don't make those same mistakes. Juve are a little bit more clinical, have a little bit more polish than the other teams, and that separates them.
And that's the difference.
Yes,
and that's the big difference there. I do think I gotta kill Koulibaly because we never really get a chance to. I feel that his defending and the sequence to both goals should have been a bit better. But shout out to my guys Zapata.
Yes.
And Pulisic scored too, but a lot of it was down to Zapata as well.
Yes, it was.
So and I do find it interesting that Ilicic starts the game on the bench. I don't know how long that's been going on for because I've kind of...
Well, they have a game Coppa Italia.
Yeah, I know. So we're
against Fiorentina. Yeah,
against Fiorentina, and then Lazio Milan. That's midweek too.
Correct.
See, everything is happening this week. But did we miss anyone else in that top four race?
No.
That's another top four race where who the hell wants it? Who wants it?
Oh, come on, I sent you that Twitter. I thought that was pretty good.
No, that was very good.
Oh, thank you.
But no one wants it.
Gunshot.
No one. Okay, fine.
Thank you. And nobody wants that.
No one wants it. Just like in England, no one wants it. And because I want Atalanta to finish in the top four, I want them to be there with Inter because I don't think anyone's going to catch Inter. But Milan just keep fumbling and fumbling and fumbling. I don't think they're good enough.
Nope.
And I feel like if they don't make the top four, that's when the change will be made. Because I don't know. I think they still will do it if they finish in the top four, but I have
they better do it.
I just feel like I have more faith in them doing it if they don't finish in the top four.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's Italy in a nutshell. So if we got through all of that, so Fabs' team is still winning in Portugal, but Benfica keeps winning. So if they keep winning, then that's over.
Yep.
So sorry, Fabs. Sorry, not happening. So now we have to get to the big hitters. All for one. Friday Night Lights. You know what time it is, guys. You know what time it is. Dan was live and direct. He was live and direct. The rain was coming. Was the rain coming down?
I didn't go.
Oh, you didn't go?
I watched it from the comfort of this couch.
Oh, you're a loser.
Yeah, sorry.
I built you up good.
Yeah, I know.
I built you up great.
I even got the horn, but yeah, no.
Really?
Yeah.
Why didn't you go?
Because it was really raining.
See? Oh, so I was right. I was about to call you a loser for going there and standing in the rain.
No.
You loser.
No.
Anyhow, TFC got back to winning ways and MLS action. Who the hell did they beat? Minnesota?
Yep.
And I really don't care.
I know you don't.
No. You want to know why I don't care? You want to know why I don't care?
Because it's a long-ass season?
Well, besides it
and the
being a
league
long-ass
isn't
season,
won in March? May? Sorry?
It's because they should have won.
They should not have won.
They should have won. That was
They should have won or they should not have won?
No, they shouldn't have won.
Oh, yeah, I agree with you.
That was one of the worst wins I've seen this season alone.
Okay.
But they won.
Yes.
And they brought on the homeboy to come off the bench.
From your neighborhood.
No, he's definitely not from my neighborhood.
Isn't he from Scarborough?
I'm not from Scarborough.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
That's on the opposite side of the city, man.
Sorry, you're right.
No, but
yeah, sorry.
What do you? I always want to hear what you have to say before I say anything because this is something closer to home to you.
Okay,
I know how I feel. I told you how I feel.
I think their defense is a big issue. I know you're gonna kill Mavinga, and he's not. I'm not gonna kill him yet. But he does make some rash tackles. He made a horrendous choice when he gave away the penalty, and it's 100% penalty. I don't care. Anybody can argue with that, but he gets none of the ball. Then he makes a great tackle a few minutes later. But he has the highs and the lows in one match. He's got to be a little bit more consistent. And that's where I feel that someone like Drew Moore or Simon has to take him a little bit under his wing and say, you know, you don't have to make these spectacular tackles. Just be solid.
I think on here I said that he's a better Daniil.
Yeah.
During his time here. But what I do see from him is that hasn't changed. But what happened was that when they won the league that season, all those rash tackles were right.
Correct. Yeah.
He was hitting all of them.
Yeah.
But now we're seeing you can't go into tackles like that on a week-to-week basis and get all of them right.
Correct. And I think as well, the quality of the league has also a little bit improved. So you have more highly skilled players. And I know Rodriguez for Minnesota had a fantastic game. Dominic Quintero, I've personally always liked him, even when he was playing in Mexico. I think he was playing for Club America, if I'm not mistaken.
That's my guy.
Yeah, he had another fantastic game for Minnesota.
Who did you say first?
Rodriguez.
He was great.
Yeah,
he was great.
That was a great header, by the way.
That is what he did. Is what Jozy didn't do. Is what you expect Jozy to do.
In terms of hold-up play?
Yeah. And it's what Jozy usually does, but that night wasn't his night.
No, it wasn't. Another great goal by Pozuelo, by the way.
Yeah.
Actually, two great goals. The first one was better than the second, but I think the second is a little bit more of his IQ, his footballing IQ. He takes 2 touches and then hammers it past Vito Manone, who used to be a fantasy option for me in Fantasy Premier League, and boy, has he fallen. And then Jordan Hamilton comes on and scores.
That's poor defending, man.
The second one.
That's poor defending.
I thought the first one was good finish on his weaker right foot, but I think the second one, I don't know what Boxall's doing.
Yeah.
You can't let that ball bounce.
Yeah.
Credit to Hamilton to anticipate that, but you got to clear that ball out.
Yeah. Well, yeah. That was.
I don't understand
pathetic. That was pathetic. But I think both were preventable. Just the last one was just worse.
Both are preventable, but I think the first one, you give him credit. It comes in a nice pass from Rosario. He takes it early.
Yes.
He scores. Okay, fine, whatever. But I think the second one is just horrendous defending.
Yeah. Minnesota should never lose that game.
Nope.
But that's kind of been their MO.
Yes.
Where yes, they can hit you with a lot of goals, but boy, they're not that great at the back.
No.
Far from.
No.
And yeah, I just look at it as like TFC put themselves in such a hole, and it was a hole that was down to them.
Yes.
And you can't let that happen. And because at some point you're going to face a team where you're not going to be able to unlock that defense. You're not going to get those breaks.
And we saw a little bit of that against Seattle the week before.
Yeah.
Where they were up and then they allowed Seattle back in the game, and then Seattle took over, and then they were trying to fight back against a quality Seattle side.
And you can't rely on Pozuelo for the entire season because there's going to be a dip somewhere.
Of course.
I think I said that.
And he's played a lot of games.
Yeah.
And he's played a lot of games.
Exactly.
So
where did Bono made a mistake, right?
Another one.
Yeah.
First goal.
Okay. Friday feels like
it
was like a week ago.
Yeah, that's another mistake. First goal. There's no reason he has to come out. Your boy, what's his name?
Who?
Richie.
Oh, Laria.
Yeah. He gets beat.
Yeah.
He's on the wrong side, but he's recovering.
Yeah.
There's no reason for Bono to be there. And if he's coming out, he's gotta take everything.
Yeah.
He's gotta take the ball.
Yeah,
just go through him.
You can't half-ass it.
No. If you've made that commitment, go.
Yeah.
But that's another mistake. And
defensively, they're awful.
Yeah, and I think Bono is feeling a little bit of the pressure with having a legit number 2 behind him that is pushing him for that spot.
That could kick the ball out. That could play the passes. That's last name is Westberg.
Yes.
That name is much cooler than Bono.
Okay. I kind of like Bono, but that's fine.
I don't know. Bono's too plain.
Yeah, that's fine. But yeah, I watched him and I thought he was really nervous, as if he had something to prove, and just stay in your net, especially for that one. Just stay in your goal. The rest of the goals that he let in aren't his fault. The header was barred down, and then it was a PK. So okay, fine, whatever.
And I can't really, there's nothing really else I could take from the game.
No.
I still feel like Quintero had too much of an impact.
Yep.
I don't know how much of that I want to put on Bradley, but I feel like Rodriguez was great.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like going forward, Minnesota really put a hammer in TFC. And I feel like they just made some mistakes, barring, I think it was the second goal was Pozuelo when he shot it from distance, or was the first
That
one?
was the first one. The second one was the two-touch, and then
The two-touch, right?
bang.
Yeah, I feel like they could have done better on that one opposed. The first one, you got hit on the break.
Yes.
You know, that's a team
Mm-hmm.
issue, right? And then the third and the fourth, I really feel that when you're up, you should be able to close that out.
Yes.
And you can't let J Hams hit you, man.
Twice.
You can't let him hit you twice. He has no business hitting you twice.
No.
And not even a knock on him. He knows he ain't got no business hit you twice. And he hit you twice.
Yep.
So shout out to him for getting the 2 goals. I definitely had no faith in him getting the 2 goals. But especially coming off the bench. It's like, oh, this game's done.
Mm-hmm.
But shout out to him for proving me wrong. Salute to you. And then we get to the main event of the night. When it shouldn't have been the main event of the night. And because he got hurt,
Yep.
he came off. This is my problem with Jozy. My problem with Jozy is that
I'm giving Jozy no smoke, by the way.
oh, okay.
He's a big man, and I like Jozy. So it's all you.
I don't know why. I don't know why you like him that much. I don't like watching his antics on the field. I feel like he cries for every single call.
Okay.
I feel like he's a big baby.
Okay.
And I do feel that at times, I don't feel like you could chastise Manning over that when you ain't even playing most of the time. He's not. Where were you last season? And Buddy was still there.
Yeah.
So
Look, okay, and you'll read his comments, and I'll be the first to say, like, whether I like Jozy or not. You just don't do that. You that's kind of stuff is kept inside the locker room, not made public. So I think Jozy was wrong. Whatever, and Manning tried to kind of smooth things over, and I think a little bit of credit goes to Manning to try to smooth things out publicly. But I think if you're Jozy, you just keep those things to yourself. You don't air that kind of stuff.
no, you don't. And shout out to Oliver Platt for getting this all down for us. But basically, Jozy was saying that it's bittersweet because this could have been avoided, but you'll have to ask Bill Manning why it's not avoided. It's just disappointed. I'm just disappointed. Okay, man, we get you're disappointed. We understand you just got hurt and you may be out for a few weeks. But you don't gotta call your boss's boss's name out.
Mm-hmm.
You don't. Then they ask what's the issue because, as a good journalist, you gotta find out all the deets.
Of course.
And know what went wrong. And then Jozy, like a fool, decides to give in to the bait.
Yes.
Well, we had a trainer here the last 3 years that's been helping me with muscle injuries, but because he was attached to Seba, he's not allowed at the club, which I think is ridiculous. And so now this is what I'm faced with. Games of egos and that kind of thing. Hopefully Manning can put his ego aside and I can get the guy that's kept me healthy, kept Michael Bradley healthy, kept a bunch of the guys healthy, and we can make things move forward. To run a club, you've got to be able to put your ego aside and put the players first, so hopefully that will change.
Wow.
Jozy, you're not a young guy. This isn't your first time around the rodeo. You know that you don't do that.
Yep.
And you haven't been that healthy. Sepa hasn't always been that healthy.
Nope.
I think Michael has.
Actually, he's been the most consistent.
Yeah. And all the other players, you've had a lot of... Was that guy not working on Victor?
Yeah.
Was Victor working separate? You've had a lot of guys that have been out there and hurt, Jozy. Don't do this. Don't point the fingers. Don't do that. And then, what else did he say? Has Bill explained the reasoning? That was one of the questions. No. First they asked, was he stretching for a bit? And he's like, you give everything on the field. You give everything for the city. You give everything for your teammates. And because of a little, whatever, misunderstanding with a guy, a player's got to pay the price. I just think that's ridiculous. My problem with him. This wasn't intentional, Jozy.
No.
Come on, man. You know this. This is my problem with him. And then he asked if Bill explained the reasoning. You can ask him. Throwing him under the bus. He's not here. He's not around, so you can't find him. You go to his office and he's not there. He's traveling. He's this and that. So I wish I knew, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, Josie. And while I get this MacBook charger because the Mac is dying, no, we really got to figure out, like, it's unacceptable. It's totally unacceptable.
Yeah.
And there's nothing, I don't even need to read Manning's comments after that.
No. Continue. No, I just look at it as, could you have done that in your real in our profession? I could not imagine going to my boss and calling him or her out. I would be looking for a job.
Yeah. And are they not going to fine him? Are they not going to do anything?
No.
No?
No.
Go figure. Go figure that would be the case. And I just don't understand it. I don't understand. No, it's not.
Oh.
No, it's not.
Well, how much time we have left?
Oh, we got not much time.
All right, well, let's wrap it up then.
Well, you want to talk about the Premier League?
What Premier League?
The Canadian Premier League?
Talk about it very quickly.
Match week? No, you don't want to talk about match week?
No, I think we should save it for next week.
Oh, we'll save it. Now we're going to do it on Thursday.
All right.
Now we're going to do a podcast on Thursday. Anyhow, with that being said, we messed up.
Yeah.
No, I'm joking. We're good. Everything else is said. Dan has nothing else to say. We talked about TFC long enough. We'll get to that, I guess, deeper on Thursday if we need to be. And the CPL kicks off Saturday, but we'll come in Thursday and we'll break that all down. So with that being said, you can find this podcast on iTunes, Spotify, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, and any Android app that you do use. You can also find this podcast on YouTube. We upload videos every day, youtube.com/interviews. You can find us on Twitter and Facebook, or first Facebook, facebook.com/interviews. Like and follow and like. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram, the Interviews TV, where I post swaggy pictures of myself or give you opinions from myself or Dan that I retweet. And on Quora, we're going to start answering more questions on Quora. I say that every week, but we never get to it. So with that being said, if Dan has nothing else to say and we cut this TFC talk short because it could have got a bit intense and we got more to talk about this week when more things develop and we talk about the CPL and the midweek games in the Premier League. It's your guy Tyrrell.
It's your boy Dan.
And we are out.